BAA says there are 100 guided runners registered for this year's marathon.
A guided runner is someone who gives verbal cues to visually impaired or blind runners and helps them navigate the terrain. Breana's back to introduce us to a guide who is running the marathon. Breana, she hasn't even met the guy that she's going to be guiding.
Nope, she has not. Kate and Liam, Taylor Slasinski will meet Peter Field for the very first time this weekend. She will be his eyes on race day, alerting him to potholes, curbs, everything in between. We caught up with her this week for a look at how she's getting ready.
When we think of someone who has a disability, whether that's physical disability or some type of impairment, we treat them differently. But at the end of the day, it's still a human being. Just because you can't see or you can't hear doesn't make you any less or different of a person.
And that is exactly why Taylor Slasinski is running her second Boston Marathon as a sighted guide. The 30-year-old started running competitively about 10 years ago and got into guiding after noticing marathon runners wearing guide and blind bibs.
Piqued my curiosity and I started researching about that, and that's when I discovered the Massachusetts Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and I applied to be a sighted guide.
Slasinski is running for Mavi and is on the locally based Booty by Brabant's marathon team. She's been training with blind runner Kyle Robideau using a 1-foot tether.
The tether helps us stay connected. It helps me feel kind of where she's moving left or right. And in a crowded race like the Boston Marathon, it also can act as a cue to ensure that runners don't split between us.
All right, we're going to turn left in about 5 feet. 3, 2, 1, turn left.
Even though the two are training together, Slasinski will be running with an entirely different visually impaired runner, Peter Field from California, come Monday.
It is a little nerve-wracking knowing that I haven't ran specifically with Peter, so I don't know his little cues or his preference when it comes to running. And being a sighted guide and being a pair, it takes a lot of trust and communication, because he's essentially trusting me to call out anything that could cause him to trip or to injure himself. And for me, that's the last thing I want. All right, there's a manhole coming up, so up 3, 2, 1, up 3, 2, 1. If I were to wake up one day and told that I couldn't do something like running or something that I love, I would hope that someone would help me. And even though there is so much bad in this world, there's also so much good.
Taylor is part of that good. Guide runners receive a finisher's medal, but they do not receive an official finishing time, and they don't appear in the race results. Taylor and Peter will meet for the first time this Saturday at the Expo to go get their bibs together. So keep an eye out for them on race day. You look for the tether and any bibs that say guide or blind. Kate and Liam.
Hi, nice to meet you. We're going to get really, really close on Monday. We're going to be best friends.
And
I know.
So many potholes along this course, too. These guided runners, they're so important.
They're so important. It's so incredible what they do, what they sacrifice for someone else.
All right.